Hi, welcome back to Missouri's Crooked Barn Homestead. This is Debbie. I know it's been a long time since you've heard from me. And that is just some quail and some guineas and some bantam chicks that I'm raising through the winter. So we've got them in here in a bin. I know it's kind of messy right now. Getting ready to clean those guys out. They were just cleaned out day before yesterday, and they make that much of a mess that quick. So it is kind of tedious when it's wintertime and you're trying to raise chicks. But we haven't stopped. We're still going. I still have quail in the incubator. That's going to be hatching here soon. We have started on some of the winter projects, one of those being, if you've seen my videos in the past, back when I was in Cheyenne, you knew I grew orange hat tomatoes through the winter time. And this is a special variety of tomatoes that grow throughout the winter. You start them in around, you can start them in September, October, November, and they'll come up and they'll start producing tomatoes around in January and February, sometimes a little bit later. So they'll have tomatoes on when you don't have tomatoes out in the garden. And right now I've got a really good start on mine. You can see them there. Aren't they very, very pretty? And they just grow in a south-facing window. And they don't need any type of special lights or anything like that. They will produce and they will grow right in a window, no issues. And then we have a little bit of some basil going on as well. And yes, you can grow basil inside as long as you got a south-facing window. Or you can use lights, and that helps out too. But yeah, we've got little tomatoes, and we've got our basil, and I'll probably start some more herbs here inside very, very soon. So that's a little bit of what's going on inside. And this leads us into what's going on outside. So one of the main points for this video, I wanted to catch up everybody on a little update. Yes, it has been a while since you've heard from me. It's because we have been so busy, and I just have put YouTube on the back burner because it's just not, it's not something that is my main part of my life. This is just something that I do to help people out that maybe have questions, want to know how things work in the wintertime, especially with animals. Say you're trying to homestead, or you just have a small farm. As I consider it a small farm, the homesteading word is a whole new word. For me, at least for what it is now, what it used to be was acquiring land back in the day. So anyway, eggs in the wintertime. Some people may or may not know that chickens slow down in the wintertime, and they don't lay quite as often as they do during the summer months, spring and summer. Actually, during the summer, they can have a bit of a slowdown depending on how hot it is. So they can tolerate temperatures pretty high. But if it gets into like 95 degrees and higher, they can sometimes slow down because it's just too hot. But they can also slow down because it's too cold, or some people may say it's because there's less light and they supplement light and heat. I do not. I believe that the laying is actually a little bit more contributing towards how much protein chickens are getting and how much of a struggle that colder temperatures are giving their bodies. And as you can see, I'm still getting plenty of eggs. I have already sold eggs, so I don't have any more in my things right now in my spiral egg holders except for the eggs that I've collected today. So these are the eggs that I have collected today here on the homestead farm. And I'm going to show you outside. We actually have some new chickens. And by the way, I am still getting duck eggs as well. I'm only getting 2 duck eggs right now per day because some of my ducks are really young and they have not started laying yet. We have flipped quite a few ducks out of the farm. We've got newer ducks that are growing up and getting to the age of where they're going to start laying. But right now I only have 2 ducks that are laying, and I actually packed a dozen of eggs for someone earlier, and I only have 1 duck egg today, but tomorrow we'll have 2 more duck eggs. But yes, we are still getting eggs in the wintertime. But let me go show you some new members of the flock. So out there in the chicken lot, you can see a lot of heads, a lot of white bodies out there. Those are some new chickens that we acquired. They're older. Most of them are over a year and a half old, with a lot of them being 3 and 4 years old. Some of them a little bit older. we met someone here in Missouri that she grows out white Wyandottes, and it's really hard to find white Wyandottes. And as many of you know, I have mostly Wyandottes in my flock. You can see there's a blue-laced red Wyandotte right over there, and there's a gold-laced rooster. And they're going through a molt right now, so you'll see quite a lot of them with some feathers missing. Chickens molt this time of the year. I know it's the craziest thing. When you're getting colder, they're molting, but a lot of them have already grown their feathers back, like my black sex lynx. So I have black sex lynx, I have my blue-laced red Wyandottes, and that hen right there with the bare back is the favorite of the chicken yard. So she gets, all the guys like her. So we're going to have to get her a hen apron to put on her back and give her a chance to let her feathers grow back, because she just is loved by everybody. So she's a blue-laced red Wyandotte as well. She's half Easter egger, honestly. So surprisingly enough, she looks exactly like the blue-laced red Wyandottes. And she has produced a lot of really pretty babies. Right now she's also dealing with a bumblefoot that we've had to work on. We've had a few chickens this year that have gotten bumblefoot that we have had to go in and fix. But you can also see our mottled Javas, which are the ultra rare breed on the Livestock Conservancy critically endangered list. So you can see her, she is in there. And I just put them with the rest of the flock through the fall and winter months because they don't need to be separated out. I'm not hatching any chicks from them right now. And then we also have some American breast roosters back there. Now they really like the Wyandotte hens that we have brought in. Surprisingly enough, chickens are a little bit breed specific. They don't really try to mix with the rest of the flock too much if they have another option. And they've got all of these white hens out here, and they are liking those. You can see that they are both of those roosters are standing right in the middle. Because the American breast hens are also white. And I do have an American breast hen that's in the midst of all of those. And they kind of stick to that. But the gold-laced Wyandotte rooster, he tends to stick with all of the Wyandottes. And then I have some cinnamon queens in here, and black sex lynx and ISAs, gold comets, a few other hens in here as well. And I've got some blue-laced Wyandottes over there. They are just blue-laced Wyandottes. So they are not any specific Wyandotte other than just blue-laced. So we have mostly Wyandottes in our flock. Some of these are white Jersey Giants. Many of them are the white Wyandottes. And we do have a mottled Java hen with some chicks. She actually hatched out some chicks that were not hers. They're the rest of the flock. And then we have a silver-laced Wyandotte here that's an older hen. And then we have two younger silver-laced Wyandottes, and they're outside of the lot running around. We do try to keep a lot of the laying hens up during the day because, you know, that just makes it easier for me to find the eggs. That rooster keeps crowing, and it seems like it always happens when you get on video. And then we have two younger black sex lynx that are out running around outside. So I have not had a chance to trim their wings so that way they can stay inside of the lot. But we do have some nests outside of the lot where they have access to, and they can collect their eggs there. But they're really young. They're not laying consistently yet because they just started laying. We have people going by waving. And of course you can see our turkeys are out here as well. This is the same turkey baby that we had last season, and he's still going strong. He won't be 2 years old until June of this upcoming year. And then we have some younger turkeys that are here that are growing up. This one had a little bit of an eye injury, but she's growing up strong. And you can see that hen there is also one of the favorites of the flock, and she's going to need a hen apron too. But she actually grows her feathers back, and then she loses them again. And we've got a couple of cinnamon queens that are also favorites. And then we have a couple of sapphire gems that are in here as well. You can see her there. And we have a Jubilee Orpington that has joined us as well. We have a friend who moved here from Wyoming about the same time that well, she actually moved here before we did, but we knew her back in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And she was moving recently. She's moving to an adjacent town, and they're going to be staying there, but they're actually planning on going back to Wyoming, so that's one of the reasons why they're moving. They're flipping a house right now, so they couldn't take the chickens with them. So she called me up or sent me a message and said, hey, would you like to have the chickens? And I said, absolutely. So we went and picked up those chickens, and she has a Jubilee Orpington. She had a rooster that came with her, but unfortunately the rooster just did not want to stay with the other chickens at all, and eventually he just disappeared. And I think he might have went to the neighbor's house. So they have chickens as well. But you can see that we have quite a bit of chickens in here now. We have a new chicken house that'll be coming along pretty soon. But we have plenty of room for these guys with the coops that we have. You notice we have 3 coops here. One of them's pretty small, but the middle one we enclosed and corrugated. And that one is working out quite well. That's the old coop that we had. And then we've got the bigger, newer coop, which is still going really strong. Love it. And then we have some younger hens that are coming on with one of the older, that one's a white Jersey Giant. And the white Jersey Giants are kind of hard to find as well, but not quite as hard or difficult to find as it is for the white Wyandottes. So we have some newer Cinnamon Queens that are coming on, and some production reds that are coming on as well. So those will be laying probably in the next couple of months. They're still fairly young. And then we have some new ducks that we had hatched out, and those are raising up as well. I think one of them is a Peking, and 2 are Cayugas, and then 2 more are the golden layers. They just ended up being a little bit darker than usual because they probably have crossed with the Cayugas. But they turned out really pretty. They're like a chocolate color, which is really pretty. But we also noticed that we have a white Leghorn now as well, so we're getting some white eggs. That came with the Jubilee Orpington, and so did the Barred Rocks that we have out there. And in the spring, we're going to separate all these breeds because we have mottled Javas that we need to focus on so we can get some more mottled Javas. I actually have some chicks that are in the range of almost 3 months old that are running around here somewhere that are mottled Java chicks. So they get to free range outside of the lot while all the other laying hens are inside the lots. And so that's quite a bit that's going on with our flock now. We have quite a few people that are interested in any chicks and eggs that we have and things like that. So lots of stuff going on here at the homestead. And of course we still have the barn, and we've got our goats. Our goats have went down to 7 now, so we have sold off some of the kids. Let me show you them. And there they are. We have started focusing mainly on Toggenburgers now. We still have the La Mancha, and we still have her 2 kids, the mini La Manchas, which are basically half Nigerian Dwarf and half La Mancha. And that's one of them coming up right now. So we still have them, and they're actually pregnant right now. They're going to be due in the spring for their own kids. This is Athena. And the one coming up right now is Minerva. Beautiful colors on both of them. And you can see Minerva's getting a little bit wide. She's chunky right now, and so is Maggie. Maggie was the mom of 3 of the kids that were born, and we actually let her kids go because they were just a little bit too spirited and needed more attention. They didn't get to be handled as much as these 2 kids because they were bottle fed, these 2. And we did not get to bottle feed. So we will be doing a hybrid version in the spring of bottle feeding and letting moms raise them. So we're going to be focusing mostly on Toggenburgers now. We do have the La Mancha as well that we will be milking. And this is Stefan. This is the buck of the herd. So he is quite a nibbler because he likes animal cookies. And he's thinking he's going to get an animal cookie. Sounds like we've got some shenanigans going on in the chicken lot. But you can see our Toggenburger females over there. That is Vera and Doris. And this is Stefan. And then, of course, we have Maggie, the big girl. She's half Toggenburger. Well, she's actually mostly Toggenburger and a little bit Nubian. So you can see Minerva's sides now. She's quite the girl. You can see she's more on the right than she is on the left, which is perfectly how they're supposed to be when they are pregnant. So that is going to be, and he's just coughing because he's just chewing on stuff, and it's getting caught in his throat. So we have all kinds of things going on. We have new feeders, we have new fencing, we have a whole new pasture. We're working on another pasture. We're getting together supplies now for that. We are doing a little bit with Premier One fencing. Really like it, except for it tends to come loose quite a bit. So we've noticed that. Especially the wind seems to kind of tug at it, and eventually it pulls it over. So I have found that it's a lot more hands-on with the Premier One fencing. I find it more of a temporary fencing option rather than something that holds together for a while. And that is Ronchata. That's the La Mancha. She's just curious what I'm doing. And there's some of the younger chicks that you can see over in the distance. A couple of them up against the fence. It's a little colder today, so they're just kind of hanging out there. You can see them there. So we've got some silver leghorns and some more American breasts that are coming on. And that's basically what's going on with all the farm now. So hope everybody has liked the little update video. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And there goes the American breast hen. She's actually out right now, along with another hen. So we'll see you in the next video, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more of some updates for you. We have also let go of 2 of our pigs, the Coonies. So all we have right now is the one big guy, the big plunger one, the Duroc. So we look forward to seeing you in the next video.